Hey dear souls, so today we're looking at healing veterans' emotional suppression, numbing, and relational disconnection. And we're going to be using psychodynamic therapy, IFS, and group therapy. Wait, don't leave yet. I'm going to teach you actually how to use them, so please stay and watch till the end. Emotional suppression is one of the most common survival adaptations in military culture. In combat and operational environments, shutting down emotion is functional. It preserves performance, reduces hesitation, and enhances military focus. But after service, the same adaptation can become costly. Veterans often describe emotional numbness, feeling detached from loved ones, inability to access sadness or joy, irritability instead of vulnerability. I don't feel anything, or I feel nothing until I explode. Today we'll examine how veterans heal emotional suppression using psychodynamic therapy, internal family systems, IFS, and veteran group therapy. Okay, so understanding emotional suppression. Emotional suppression is not a weakness, it is a conditioning. Military training reinforces emotional control, compartmentalization, stoicism, mission-first mindset. Over time, this becomes structural, embedded in identity. What happens post-service? Emotional numbing, relational distance, difficulty identifying feelings, alexithema, shame around vulnerability, fear that if I open up, I won't be able to close it. Suppression becomes automatic, not conscious. Healing requires safe, structured re-engagement with internal experience. Psychodynamic therapy. Psychodynamic therapy explores unconscious emotional patterns formed through experience, including military service. Core focus areas, defense mechanisms, suppression, intellectualization, emotional detachment. These defenses once protected survival. In therapy, the clinician helps the veteran identify these patterns, understand when they formed, recognize their current relational cost. The goal is not to remove the fences abruptly, it is to loosen rigidity. Attachment patterns. Many veterans experience avoidant attachment tendencies, emotional distancing, difficulty tolerating dependency or closeness. Psychodynamic work examines early attachment history, how military culture reinforced emotional self-reliance, how current relationships are affected. The therapeutic relationship becomes corrective, a safe environment to express anger, grief, vulnerability without judgment. Grief processing. Suppression often protects unresolved grief, loss of comrades, loss of identity, loss of innocence, moral conflict. Emotions that were not allowed during service must be metabolized later. This process is gradual and titrated. Internal family systems. IFS conceptualizes the mind as composed of parts. For many veterans, emotional suppression involves protective parts. Common parts include the soldier part, hyper-controlled, mission-oriented. The numb part shuts down emotions. The angry part expresses what vulnerability cannot. The exiled part holds grief, fear, shame. IFS does not pathologize these parts. Instead, it asks, what was this part trying to protect? For example, the numb part may say, if you feel that grief, you won't function. The angry part may say, anger is safer than sadness. Healing involves identifying protective parts, developing curiosity rather than judgment, accessing the self, calm, grounded awareness, gently contacting the desired emotional material. IFS is especially effective for veterans because it respects internal server structure, honors protective adaptations, avoids focusing emotional flooding, it builds internal trust before vulnerability. Emotional suppression thrives in isolation. Therefore, group therapy disrupts that isolation. Veteran-specific groups are particularly powerful because shared language reduces defensiveness, shared culture lowers shame, shared experiences validate emotion. In group settings, veterans witness others naming grief, others admitting fear, others expressing vulnerability without losing strength. This normalizes emotion. Common beliefs include increased emotional vocabulary, reduced stigma around vulnerability, improved relational skills, corrective peer bonding. Group therapy becomes a reconditioning environment, strength and emotional openness that help everything coexist. The phases of healing. Healing emotional suppression typically unfolds in phases. Awareness. Recognizing numbness as a defense, not personality. Safety building. Establishing trust in therapy or group settings. Emotional identification. Learning to name feelings. Titrated emotional exposure. Experiencing manageable amounts of sadness, grief, and fear. Relational reintegration, re-engaging emotionally with family, partners, community. This process is non-linear. Periods of shutdown may reoccur. This is not failure, it is protective, circulatory reactivating. Stay tuned for part 2.